Tunnel vision when I hit the holly. Working on that cause my mind is on an island. Told my babies I'll be homeless, so don't stay up. Breaks my heart to see them sad, so I won't wait up. Need it all that's mine, I need it now. I lost my patience the same week I lost my smile. My baby pressed me, said
So you actually have the factory here. Okay, so come on guys, let's see the factory.
As you can see, we got some of our product in here.
I want to eat this. This smells like cotton candy. You know those Laffy Taffies?
So we have some of the products that we do. We do a lot of skincare, hair care brand here, and the reason why, because one of the things that we do with our students, we teach them how to build a business that they can sell in the next 4 years, in the next 5 years. So a lot of people get into e-commerce and they want to do drop shipping, and it's cool for somebody who want to get started, but the goal here is to help you build a business with an exit strategy, right? So meaning the product that we sell, people buy them from you and then they want to refill those products, right? That's why we focus a lot on skincare, on hair care, on supplement product, and the weight loss type thing.
Okay, I like it. So it's just pretty much products that people can come and buy over and over and over again, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I see you have a big operation here. So are these like client products?
So those are products. So those are for our customer. They're sold out. Now they're restocking. So we're gonna reship them product because they're just making a lot of sales, and obviously they come back and buy it from us again and again.
So are you telling me that this right here is how you built an 8-figure e-com brand?
Yeah.
This lotion?
Yeah, so you do skincare, you do hair care. Again, guys, you got to look at those industries. They're making $500 billion a year, bro.
Really?
Those type of industry, they're not going nowhere. That's why we teach people, hey, listen, instead of you trying to go find a teddy bear or something to just sell online, why not build something that's you're gonna be able to say if you build it right, in the next 5 years you'll be able to sell it.
Okay, hold on. We got to get into the nitty gritty. Let's go have a seat because you're gonna give me all your secrets, okay?
Oh my goodness.
I'll get it from you. Let's go.
All right.
Hey, welcome to the Joshcashflow channel. Have you ever wondered how you can go from being poor, being an immigrant, and then make it into be an 8-figure entrepreneur? Today we have a very special guest who did the exact same thing. My boy, DJ Jefferson.
Josh, what's up, brother?
What's good? Bro, how did you do it? You came to this country with nothing. You used to sell what?
Ice cream.
Ice cream for probably 50 cents back then. And now you have a successful 8-figure enterprise in e-commerce. How did you do it, bro?
Oh man, so obviously it's a lot of work, but before everything else, man, welcome to Yes family, and I want to say thank you to the fact that you took your time from North Carolina and come all the way down to Fort Lauderdale to do this interview with me, so appreciate you doing that.
Listen, I had to. Your story is so inspirational. People always ask me like, Josh, you already have money. It's easy to make money, but what do you do when you started from scratch? How do you make money when you're getting from scratch? So I want to really dive into that. And we're going to talk about your $1 million day. Don't think I don't know about that.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to talk about your $1 million day, and we're going to tell the people exactly how to do it. You ready?
So yes, let's go. So obviously, my name is Jefferson Artis. I am from Haiti. I came to this country in 2009, and like you said, as an immigrant, and I started selling ice cream back home in Haiti. As you said, probably like 50 cents. And for some reason, man, at 16 years old, my mom did something for me I didn't understand. So the day I turned 16, she said, "Hey son, come with me." And imagine it's my birthday. She said, "I have a great gift for you." And I'm like, "Okay, mom, what is it?" And she said to me, "Moving forward, I'll keep paying for your school, but I will never ever give you any more money to put in your pocket."
What?
Yes.
Your boss did that to you?
My mom did that to me, and you can imagine at 16 years old, man, I was frustrated. Like you will be frustrated too. Yeah. I was pissed, and I remember there was a Sunday. I'm a big soccer fan. I'm about to go watch. I wanted to go watch a soccer game, and I said, "Mom, give me some money." And she's like, "I guess you forgot the conversation we had, right?"
She was serious.
Yeah, she was serious. And he's like,
Wow.
"No, I'm not gonna give you any money to go watch the game." And then this is when I realized, hey man, we had ice cream in the house. So this is when I literally get my bicycle, put the ice cream in the back of the car, in the bike, and went to the neighborhood and started selling ice cream.
So
Now,
you're selling your mom's ice cream first?
Yes. And at that time, I made some money. I found money to go to the game and everything else. But I spent the whole summertime selling ice cream to a point now, some of the money that I made from selling ice cream, I've got some money to give her so she can buy Converse for me. So I don't know if you remember the days with Converse.
The Converse were hot back then. I remember I wanted Converse.
I made a lot of money selling Converse.
Okay.
But the best part is, man, after 4 years, I never went back since then to ask my mom for money.
Really?
No. And then this is when I realized this was the best gift she did for, like, the best thing she did for me, because she taught me the importance of working hard. She taught me the importance of grinding.
So what would you say to people who say, like, listen, your mom is supposed to give you money till like you're 24, you're married? Because there's some parents like that who are like, I want to do everything for my kids. Like, is that what you would do for your kids as well, like after a certain age?
Listen, looking back, like I said, man, it's the best thing she did for me, because I've been on my own since I was 16.
Okay.
You know, I took care of myself, and I have a daughter right now. It's the same thing, right? When she gets sick, I'm gonna keep paying for the school, but when it comes for her to get money from me, no, she's gonna have to earn it. She's gonna have to work. She's gonna have to hustle. She's gonna have to grind.
Wow.
Right? Because I can die tomorrow. So, and my daughter, what she's gonna inherit from me? Nothing. But if I give her the work ethic, if I teach her how to fish herself, eventually she got that. So I think this is the same thing my mom did for me. The fact that she didn't give me any money, she told me, hey, son, you gotta go grind. And this literally changed my life.
So from what you're saying is the skills, right? You have to value the skills. And I'm a big believer in skills, right?
Yes.
You have to leave skills for your kids. But I never thought about it from that way. When I think about leaving things for my kids, when I leave money, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm going to teach them how to like invest the money. But you want them to actually have hard skills.
You do.
So then I guess it makes sense. How do you go from ice cream to skincare products, e-commerce? Like, why e-commerce?
Yeah, so I kept
think.
thinking for this question. I came here in 2009, and immigrant, illegal. I'll be honest with you, no papers, and you know, the first job I had, I was a stock boy. So literally the guy in the back, that's like whatever the stuff coming to the warehouse, lifting the boxes and everything else. And they did something for the Haitian. It's called it's TPS, where you can adjust your status. So I end up now I'm legal. And the first job I had, while I'm in the back of the warehouse, this lady that called me, she said, "Hey Jeff, I have this marketing sales job for you." And funny enough, when I went to that office, it was like around 40 people excited. Like, this guy saying I'm making $2,000-$3,000 a week, right? And then, well, the guy, one thing, it's a full commission job.
Okay.
You eat what you kill,
Yeah.
right? And remember, I'm working as a stock boy. I'm making my $300 a week. So this is like safe.
Yeah.
This is guaranteed. No matter what, I'm gonna get my $300 a week. And I remember when you get to that office, you have to go on a day of observation with someone that's killing in the office. So I went outside. The guy that went out with me, he made like 2 sales in front of me. And he said, man, with those 2 sales, I just made $1,000-something bucks. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
This is nice. But there was a problem.
What?
I don't speak the language.
Oh, you don't speak English?
I didn't speak the English, right? So, and I'm like,
Wow.
okay, this is cool, but where I am going to find words, right, to convince or, to a customer to buy products from me.
Okay.
So the answer is like, man, that's crazy. And, I remember you had to go back the same day to tell the manager whether you want to take on the job or not. I called her back. I said, listen, I'm sorry, I can't come back because I have to go babysit my cousin. It was a lie. And the reason why I said that, because I was unsure if I want to take on the job or not, right?
Okay.
So I went home in the room that, I rented a wood from one of my friends, and I literally lay down in my bed, man, in the bed I had on the floor. And I started thinking, like, I was going through 2 thought process. The first one, Jeff, you have a job right now as a stock boy, you're making your $300 a week. It is guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then the second thought, listen, are you gonna be able to even one day help your mom, help yourself, buy a nice car, buy a nice house, if you keep staying at that job? The answer was no. And I'm like, it was 40 people inside of that office. If these people can stay there and they're excited, they're dressing nice, they're making money, if they can do it, why can't you do it too?
So I want to stop you right there, because this is something I don't want people to miss, right? You had a secure job paying you $300 a week.
Yes.
And then a job that could potentially make you 10 times more, but you were afraid to make that leap.
I'm afraid to make that leap because eat what you kill is a full commission job. If you don't perform, you don't get paid.
No, but I feel like a lot of people, when they start the entrepreneurship journey, for example, like that's the dilemma, that's the problem they're faced with.
Yeah, agree.
Leave my guaranteed income or go into something that can make me literally 10 times more. And you saw the people doing it, so obviously, it will work. But I know that fear. So how did you overcome that fear? Like, how long did it take to kind of overcome that fear?
So this is when I was going through the third process. The question I asked, listen, do you want to keep staying here and not being able to one day even help your mom, or being able to not buy a nice car and everything else? And I said to myself, if this guy can do it, why not me, right? So I literally said, what is the worst thing that could happen? If for some reason this doesn't work, maybe I'll just go back to my other job. But at least I'm going to give it a try. I'm gonna start. So I called the lady back. I said, listen, I'm coming for training. I went for training, did training, and guess what? Spent the first literally 3 months, 0 sale.
Wow. Wow. You know what's so crazy? There's something that Mentor always says. What does he always say? He says something that's so crazy about how when you have an intention, what follows?
Your intention follow your
disruption.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to do something and life change, you think it's going to be great. Sometimes something bad happens. So you had 3 months without sales. Three
months without sale, and to a point that the manager called me in the office and she said, listen, Jeff, I see you trying. 1, you don't speak the language. 2, you are shy. I don't think this is for you. You should quit.
Wow.
And I remember this was terrifying for you. And I said, listen, is it okay if I stay here for one more week? She said, yeah, son, you don't bug me. You can stay here for 1 more week. But there was a guy inside of the office, and this is very important, that part. There was a guy inside of the office. His name is Dexter. Every week he's the #1 sales guy. And I said, oh, Dexter, is it okay for me to go and follow you and shadow you outside? He said, yeah, my son, come with me. You can come and shadow me. So I went. But one thing I realized about Dexter, every single business he go inside of it, he literally say the same thing over and over. Literally the same sales pitch over and over. 2 sales. And I said, Dexter, is it okay if I record you? He's like, yeah, my son, you can record me. 2 sales in front of me made $1,000. And that next day again, I said, Dexter, can I go back again with you? He said, yes. Again, same thing. Every single door, every single business, literally the same sales pitch, Josh. Is it okay if I record you? Yes. So I recorded him and I low bootleg foot I had that back then. I went back home and I literally studied the exact same thing. I memorized the whole thing word for word. Monday, I went back to the office. It's the first time I had confidence.
Wow.
Right? And the reason I'm saying this part to you, after that this is the first week I went back with confidence, and I also had my first sale. 6 months later, to cut the show short for you, I ended up being the #1 sales guy inside of that office.
Wow.
Couple lessons you guys can learn from this. 1, I tell people, success leave clues. If you want to be successful, find someone who's already successful and model them. So and then a lot of time, the second lesson you can learn from it, a lot of times people start doing things, they keep saying, oh, this doesn't work for me. Like one thing I learned from my mentor, and he said to me one day, Jeff, work always work. You got to give work time to work on you before it work with you. And I think this is the thing that in the first 3 months when I was going through it, it wasn't because the job wasn't working for me. I had to allow the work to work in me first before I start seeing the outside result. So I think those are the 2 things you can learn from this. And this is exactly why I became the #1 sales guy nationwide for the company. And then, we ended up partner with the company, which is Verizon. I was selling phone, internet, and television to business owners. And then from there, we scaled our first company, Artist Enterprises, to high 7-figure.
Hold on, and I don't want people to miss that. So you came from somebody who wasn't speaking the language to not only being the #1 salesperson in the organization, but actually creating a partnership and having your first 7-figure company. And this is something that people miss all the time. So I remember my first sales type of job. I invested in a program. I remember that program was like $10,000, $15,000. And then I had to put up ads. I put it on a credit card, and I was scared as well. And it took me 700 sales calls before I had my first sale.
Wow.
700. And I kept switching. I said, maybe it's the niche. I spoke to real estate agents. I spoke to dentists. I spoke to doctors. I was like, why would anybody buy from me? So, but it's that grit. So the question I have for you is, what kept you going through those 3 months that didn't let you quit? So I feel like people need to understand that. Like, what kept you going even though you didn't see results yet?
Yeah, it's the thing. 1, the moment that I see somebody doing something, bro, in my mind, if they can do it, I can do it too. And then 2, the pain of going back to lifting boxes and everything else, and not being able to take care of my mom. Remember, I told you my mom is everything. She gave me the best gift. And not being able to take care of my family back home, that was painful. I know with $300, every time I used to make that $300, I literally already had money for somebody else. So that was painful. And I've literally seen this guy making money. because I was a part of that environment. I think that part pushed me to keep moving forward. I think your environment and the people around you, your surroundings, will have a big impact on you. I think that's the thing that had the biggest impact on me, because I've watched other people, these guys making thousands and thousands of dollars a week, and I said, listen, if I just stick with it, eventually I'm gonna be able to do it.
So it's just that grit is super important, right?
Yeah.
You have to have that grit. Okay. So let's fast forward right now. So you had your first 7-figure company now, and do you feel like the best way for people to get their start, if they're maybe trying to transition out in their 9-to-5, is to work for a 7 to 8-figure business first?
Well, I mean,
what would be your advice to somebody?
Yeah, it's not one way. It's not just one way to go to California. If I was just getting started, the first thing I would do, if I wanted to, whatever field I wanted to go in, I will find someone who already have the result that I desire, and then either pay that person to mentor me, or see how I can work for that person for free so I can get the knowledge. That's the way I would go about it. And what saved me, the reason why I started having success in that business, going door to door, is because I found someone who already had success. And I literally went outside with the guy, see exactly what he was doing, and modeling everything that he was doing. Literally, when I was pitching, the only difference, my pitch had an accent, this guy didn't have an accent. It was literally the same thing. I modeled his voice, his intonation, his body language, everything. And eventually, because I was younger, I don't know, I outworked him. He was older than me. He will spend 3 days and 4 days, three hours in the field, and I would just spend 6-7 hours in the field. I was young, I was 21, I was 22 at that time. So he was around, I don't know, 40 something. He will spend 3 hours in the field. Eventually, I'll spend 6-7 hours in the field, because I had the time. Because I outwork him, so it doesn't matter for me. Even if you had more skill set than me, he has more skills than me, but again, I also put in more time than him. So eventually, because I put in more time and I got also the skills from him, and the fact that I'm staying in the lab more than him, and eventually that is how I end up being the #1 sales guy. So I think the most important part, whatever field you want to get in, find someone or find a company that has the result that you want. If you can find a mentor, pay them some money, or say, hey, listen, I would love to work for you for free, so I can earn. And then eventually take that skill set and then, do what you got to do.
And you know what's so funny? When I first read the book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, he had a quote in there that I didn't understand till maybe six months ago or a year ago. He said the rich people don't work for money, they work for experience. Wow. And I didn't really understand that. I was like, rich people work for experience. Forget the experience, give me the cash. But like you said, like if you work for the experience, the money will be as a byproduct because you've learned the skills.
That's the most important part.
So skills are so what would you say is the #1 skill, somebody just getting started, they're trying to make as much money as possible? What is the #1 skill you believe any person should learn?
I mean, it sells, bro. Like everything that I have today, thank God, because I did 8 years of door-to-door sales. So I think whether you want to become a doctor, whatever you feel you want to be in, you have to be able to have that communication skill. You have to be able to sell. You have to, because no matter what you do, this is not something you can get away with. You're gonna have to sell no matter what. So if you're gonna have to sell no matter what, you might as well become great at it. So I think the #1 skill sales. Everybody should master selling.
Yeah, guys, let me tell you something. I'm going to put a little blip here. I've been trying to get him to come and work for me. He's too rich for that. For the last 2 years. He's like, Josh, I'm too rich for that. Just come and do a training for my people or something. He's literally a master at sales and communication. And what people don't realize, everything you do is sales. When you're talking to, have a significant other, you're talking to them, you're selling them an idea.
Clothes you wear, everything.
Your clothes, everything that you wear. Sales is, I heard something by Jim Rohn, right? Yeah. And he said something that was crazy about Jesus, right? So this is not religious at all, but I want to pinpoint the message. He said this. He said that Jesus had the most clear sales message in the world, follow me. That was his sales message.
Ooh, yeah.
And he said that, how do you think he got grown men to leave their work, their family, and follow him? Thousands of people with only those 2 words.
Master.
He said something that was so key. He said that it's because of all he was that he didn't have to say. And like you said, sales is all about everything, how you dress, how you look, the confidence you have in yourself.
Everything.
So it makes sense. Let's transition now to the e-com empire, the 8-figure empire here.
Yes.
I want to spray this, but I feel like you're going to charge me. So he's going to charge me for everything. So you're selling door-to-door. You create a 7-figure company. Why e-com specifically? I know you had the experience, but why specifically e-com?
Yeah, so I COVID time, one of my friends washing, I met him to going door to door, so he worked in my company. And then he started making a bunch of money with Amazon, right? And I remember on Saturday, he came to my house. I was laying down on the floor, And while I was on the computer, he said, Jeff, he bought me a salad and stuff. He's like, Jeff, listen, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. He's like, how many times you traveled this year? I'm like, huh? Like, from nowhere. I'm like, why this guy? In my head, I'm like, why this guy is asking me this question? He's like, Jeff, how many times you traveled this year? I said, 0. And he said, okay, you're making some money. I said, yeah. And he said something to me so profound. He said, listen, what's the point of making so much money if you don't have the freedom to do what you want, to travel, to enjoy your life, to explore life? What's the point? And I said, okay, cool, that's fine. He's like, how many times you traveled this year? He's like, I traveled 18 times.
Wow.
I'm like, what's your point? He said, listen, man, if you want to have the freedom to do things that you want to do when you want, how you want, you need to start selling product online. He's like, listen, man, I made so much money on Amazon this year. You're doing well, but guess what? You got to be in your office all the time. You got to go and coach your agents and all this other stuff all the time. You don't have the freedom to do that. I don't care what you do, man. Figure a way to start making some money online. And after he left, and I look at the whole thing, I'm like, hey, man, this is good and everything else, but I didn't have the freedom. And for me, this meant a lot. So this is how I started thinking about, hey, listen, I need to start making money online. I need to start doing e-commerce.
Okay.
And the first thing I did, I think that for me, there was a guy I was following on Facebook, Akbar, who was talking about funnels. So another kid, Dan Henry, talking about Facebook. He has at that point a Facebook ad for entrepreneur. You remember that program?
I remember that program. So, I was part of it.
And then, I literally was like, I got on the phone with Akbar first. And the first time I got on the phone with him, he pitched me his product, his coaching program. It was, I believe, $12,000 something at that time. In my mind, I'm like, this guy's like, he's crazy. Like, you think I'm gonna pay $12,000? And then, but I had an idea to start like my first brand, which still today we have. It's Longbido. It's a male enhancement product. Try longbido.com. Just put in that plug.
Wait, you're selling sex toys?
It's not sex toy. It's a natural product that helps men last longer in bed. Obviously, it's good. It's helping women. Obviously,
it's helping women.
It is.
Okay.
Right. So it's very good. But when I got on the phone with him, the guy said $12,000 to help me build my first funnel. And my mom, like, this guy crazy. But it was a Thursday before Black Friday. So when I said to this guy, you're crazy, and I kind of like just get off the phone. But I remember on that Black Friday, I literally pulled out my credit card and bought like $6,000 worth of stuff for me and my girlfriend and stuff, like without even thinking about it. So later on, when I'm in my bed, I started thinking, I'm like, Jeff, yesterday you got on the call with this guy. Look at how he just, he told you he's gonna help you build your business for $12,000. You kind of think like he was crazy, but you just literally spend $6,000 on clothes and stuff that you live in New York. Yeah. You're not gonna even wear in the next 6 months. And the question I asked myself, Jeff, so you mean to tell me, like, those material things are more important than your dreams in you building a business? That's the question I literally was having to myself, right? And the answer was no. So the next day, man, I called this guy, literally max out my credit card and pay him his $12,000. Now, 8 months later, I also bought a course from Dan Henry, Faith. I also bought another course from Finkert. It was a $390. It's an inner circle. It's a $397 a month program, which I bought. 8 months later, we built Longbido, $1.2 million in 8 months.
Wow.
So that's how this is. And then COVID happened, and then I just went
crazy. But before we get to that, I want to run back to something that you said that's super key. I want people to miss. Of course, investing in yourself is super important. People think when they invest in one course that that's it. You have to be willing to invest in yourself until you get to your goals. People ask me all the time when they invest in programs, even that you have or I have, like, when should I stop or how much? I was like, until you get to your goals. But I want to take you back to something that you said. You said you had somebody who worked for you. Okay, you were his boss. You saw he was doing something, and you learned from him, and that took you to another 7-8-figure business. Yeah. A lot of people have ego, and they won't be willing to do that. You think what you did is normal. It's not normal. I know a lot of people who are CEOs, they're like, I'm already rich. F what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that recognition, they say, hey, you're actually right. You invited somebody who worked for you to your office, and you learned from him, took that and implemented that, and that led to another 7 to 8 figure business.
And so that's exactly why I started doing e-commerce in 2017. So we built Longbido till today. We still have the brand. And then obviously in 2019 before COVID, one of my friend for some reason he's like, Jeff, you came here from zero and you built all this. And then same, just like he's like, man, why don't you just shoot a video and telling people how you got here, your story? And I'm like, man, you gotta leave me alone. He's like, listen, I'm just gonna put the camera right here. Just I'll just ask you a few questions. And then we shot the video, we edited it. And before I'm going, you know, in the morning, he sent me the video. Before I go to my office, I literally said, I hope this story inspires someone. And I just put it on Facebook. By the time I got out of the shower, 1,000 shares, bro.
Wow, you went viral.
It went viral.
Yeah.
And then when the whole thing went viral for me, I'm like, again, I still have the door-to-door background. I'm just going to my office, and I still had my office at that time. And I didn't think anything of it. And then, like, man, I'm talking about, like, all day, man. Like, my mom now is calling me. It's like, you crazy? You telling people you're making that kind of money? You know, I'm from back home. I'm from Haiti.
Yeah,
so
we
it's
know.
like, and she's still in Haiti back then. It's like, you want people to come and kill me? You telling people you're making that kind of money, that much money? You know what I'm saying? So, and then the first time, like, it's so many messages and everything else. But I'm like, you know what? Somebody's like, you got to do a live. So Josh, never done a live in my life.
Oh, yeah?
And I put out my phone, and I went live. 1,000 people, bro.
Wow.
Oh man, guess what I did?
What?
Oh, hell no. I was scared to death.
We cut it off?
Of course.
Honestly, there's something about being an immigrant, even me, like attention. We don't like attention.
Well,
I have so many footage, so many that I still haven't released because I don't want people knowing like who I am, what I got, everything like that. But one thing I learned that for us to inspire the next generation, people that look like us, we have to be willing to make ourselves vulnerable.
Yeah, eventually, that's what I thought. I'm like, listen, man, you got all these people that got inspired by the thing, and then despite my fear, I didn't want to share the message. I went back live. And I started answering people questions. And then, you know, I did another live, and I saw that. And this is why people say, Jeff, everything I do most nowadays, I do it in my language. I do it in Creole. I'm from Haiti. And people tell me, you know, why you keep doing this in Creole? Because I said, listen, like, our community needs that. Because when I came here in the US, I didn't have any people like myself I could look up to and say, hey, you know what, this is where I started, but this is what I did to get here. So I think that was the motivation for me, the idea of me impacting a lot of people. So I started going live. I did 2 live for a whole year back, like for 365 days, answering questions for people. And that's how we were able to start teaching people in the Haitian community how they can start their own e-commerce brand. So.
Okay, so I know people here word about e-commerce, and what I'll do is that for those who want the libido product, I'm gonna put a link below for everybody so you guys can get it, and you don't have to tell anybody you're getting it. Okay?
Yeah.
It's my gift.
It's
to
confidential.
You. It's confidential. Okay, hide your address. But I want to ask a question specifically about e-commerce. So you're selling products online. You know, during COVID, it blew up even more. So you went from making 7 figures, you built an 8-figure brand. If you had to do e-commerce over again, because I know there's a lot of people who sell like drop shipping or selling teddy bears or toys. Like, talk about the e-commerce business a little bit and kind of give some advice on how somebody could get started with that.
Right, nice, good question. So yes, I started myself with dropship too. I did a lot of dropship after I did with Long Bido. But here's the thing, if you're gonna start today, I wouldn't advise to do dropship. And the reason why, you gotta look at the world that we live in. Speed is the new currency now. Mm-hmm. Like, when you order something on Amazon, you literally can get it in 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So 2017, when you order a product, when you sell somebody something, maybe they can wait 15, 20 days. Nobody has time for that today. Yeah. So if I was starting today, I wouldn't advise anyone to start with dropship. Or if you're gonna do dropship, you gotta do something we call hybrid dropshipping, where it's still branded, it's still your own product. It's not like any fuzzy, non-quality product you're just selling out there. So now in 2022, because speed is very important, because quality, people care about quality and everything else, I would advise someone, if you're gonna do something nowadays, you might as well do something that you can think about what we call exit strategy, meaning you can build something that can build you a legacy, like something that you can sell for 5x, 6x, 7x in the next 3-4 years. So I will tell people, find a product that you can stand behind and launch your own brand with it, instead of just kind of, start looking for hot products every week, trying to do the dropship model and everything else. I wouldn't go that route. I would literally learn skill set. Facebook ads, you want to master that. The YouTube ad, the Google ads, the TikTok ads, and then I will literally find products in niche that I know, one, they're evergreen. What I mean by evergreen, this is product that you can sell at any season, anytime. Second, I will sell type of products like this one because people gonna come back and buy from you over and over. And then one of the third one is like people product that can solve some type of insecurity, from you. Example, Longbido. If you look at the product, it's a melanin enhancement product. But guess what? One, the product is evergreen, right? Because people can keep buying this at any season, right? Two, it's recurring, meaning people have to refill the product. So after you use it, you want to keep, doing that 3-4 hours, right? You have to come and refill it.
Yeah, okay.
And then three, insecurity, emotional. Like if a man cannot perform, he's not mentally not gonna feel good, right? Or his wife gonna make him feel bad. So once you start selling this type of product, guess what, man? This is how you build a 6, 7, 8-figure business.
So I want to mention something, guys. So what I did, I can't just come here and talk to an 8-figure business owner and then just let him escape. I tied him down. We're actually doing a free training together, going more into detail about e-commerce, how he got his start, how to sell products like this, okay? There's literally a free training below you guys can join. I don't know how long it's gonna be up. It's literally happening, so you can just click the link below, join the free training, and he's gonna go more in detail because I know this is a interview, and I like giving people like extra steps they can actually watch and implement and start their own online store. So there's a link below for that. So I had to plug that in. Okay. But let me get to something that I feel like most people don't talk about. Okay, you're making money now. We just came in your Lamborghini, okay? A nice one, by the way. Thank you. Okay, for people my size and above, I might recommend the yours. Okay, it took me some time to get out there.
Maybe you can customize it.
Customize? Oh, okay. Let's see how I need to customize mine then. Make it wider for my hips. But what I want to talk about is the feeling of being rich. Nobody ever talks about that. People talk about the process and the work they want to do, but the payoff has to be worth it. What are some of your favorite things that you enjoy now that you have money that you like? If you have to give it up, you're like, I cannot give this up. Like, I love being rich for this particular reason. What's that for you?
It's crazy, and I know, and I was saying that probably yesterday to you guys. The one thing I like the most, I love having dinner with my friends, and have a lot of food on the table. And I don't even have to eat the food.
Yeah, this my guy. It's true, guys.
I don't need to eat the food, but the fact that I can go to dinner, we all dress nice. We can order a lot of the food like on the table, and we can have a great conversation. We can laugh, and we gotta worry when the bills come, who's gonna pay. And sometimes we're fighting for the bill.
For the bill, I remember.
Or we play Russian roulettes for the bill. This is my jam. Like people think like I get my gym from the Lamborghini, from the this, and I don't get. But listen, I'm telling you, dinner. That's one of my favorite things. And then second thing, man, like my daughter, being able to spend time with my daughter, as a single dad, that's like one of my favorite things. I can literally say, hey, Tuesday, I'm gonna go spend a whole day. I'm gonna take my daughter to places. I'm gonna do this, and I don't gotta worry about whether where the next bill is coming, where the next how I'm gonna pay the next bill. So I think that having that type of freedom to spend time even with my daughter, anytime I want to, when I want to, and then without worrying about any of these things.
Yep. The owning your time, I think, is so important. I was having dinner with somebody a few weeks back, and he was like, hey, I gotta go because I have work in the morning. And he was like, it's late. It's like, this is around like 11:30, midnight, we left the restaurant. So don't you need to get somewhere in the morning? I was like, it's a Tuesday. Like, this is just my regular day. I can do what I want, how I want. So, guys, it's true. DJ took us out to dinner. We had so much food on the table. We were sharing it, eating family style. It was so wonderful, beautiful. He tried to sell his libido products to us, and I was like, we're good here, okay? I'm about to call him the sex toy king. I'm gonna mess with him all interview long. But I want to end somewhere, right? And I want to touch on something, right? What are 3 things, if somebody came to you, your younger self came to you and says, DJ, you just got to this country, right? What are 3 things to get to where you are now? What do I need to know? What do I need to do? If I wanted to do everything you did in 3, 5, 7, 10 years, if I wanted to do it in 90 days, tell me exactly what to do.
Perfect. Nice. That's a nice question, Josh. One, the first thing I will say, and I'll go back to the same thing. I mean, one, define your goals first, right? You gotta define your goal, where you want to go. You gotta set your goal up. Second thing, find someone that has the result that you desire. After that, your environment is crucial. Like the people you surround yourself with. I can tell you, man, like even I pay attention to the way I go to eat, the people I have conversation with, everything when it comes down to my environment, even the people I follow on Instagram, even the people I follow on social media.
Yeah.
That's so crucial. And then you want to put yourself in, like I said, in an environment of people that's gonna force you to become better, to be better, and to think bigger. So I remember, if we sometimes you have conversation with people, we tell him, you know what, we're making $100,000 a month, and one of the coaching program we were in, if we made $100,000 a day, we were afraid or we were even ashamed to even talk about it because the people around us, some of them were making $1 million a day, $2 million, $5 million a day. So I think it's so important. One, the first thing you want to do, find someone who has the result that you desire. Like literally, if you can pay them or be around them, do it. Second, your environment is super important. Like make sure the people around you, everything that's around you, things that's gonna help you to think bigger, wanna be better. And then the third one, bro, the skill set, the skills, the information. The reason why you're not making the money that you desire is because of the stuff you don't know. You want to invest as much money into yourself, as possible into it. I mean, I can tell you, I spent a lot of money on mastermind, on coaching, on books, on all these other things. All they did is make me better and make me more money. You can't lose with those three things. And I think once you do that, you're gonna shortcut the whole process.
Yeah, I'm the firm believer. If I went broke today, like the first thing I'll do is like, okay, who can I pay?
Yeah.
Who can I pay to learn what they're doing to be successful with them? That is it. That's the secret to success. It sounds boring, but find somebody who's doing something, model it. And his story is the same thing. And my story is the same thing. We actually met in the same coaching program, right?
Of course.
Like I meet with 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs, 9-figure entrepreneurs all the time, right? Because I'm a big believer of investing in ourselves. I remember that same day, right, where we joined the coaching program. Somebody was getting their 7-figure a day award.
Yes.
And the 7-figure a day award. And they give us an opportunity to take pictures with somebody else's award, remember? Mm-hmm. So I did that. I took pictures. I told myself in a year, I'll be holding this. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I couldn't even imagine it. It wasn't something my imagination could grasp. But guess what? In 18 months, I had 2 of them.
Wow.
And I just did a third one.
And I can relate to that, because I was a part of the coaching program.
Yeah.
And $1 million in a day? This sounds crazy.
It does.
Even when our coach was saying that you can make money, what's the quote he say all the time? It's easier to make a lot of money in a
little bit of time.
Yeah, so when he said that's the quote, right? You can plug it down there, right? Myron Golden. And when he said, I'm like, man, this sounds kind of crazy. But I started seeing, you did the $1 million a day. I saw Neo do it. I saw all the other guys did it. And the fact that I was in the Haitian community, and I'm like, there's no way, man, I'm going to have a high ticket program. I have a lot of limited belief. I had a lot of limitations, right? Mm-hmm. And then I was like, Rabbi, there's no way we were a part of this coaching program before these guys, and they want to do $1 million a day. We can do it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. If they can do it, I'm sexy. I can do it too, right?
I love it.
Right? And then
Sexiness is the key to success.
Right? So I look at the guys, I'm like, those are my brothers. They can do the same thing. They're in front of me. Why not? Why not me? In January this year, we did a 5-day challenge in here. We did 36 sales, 35 grand.
Wow.
We did 1.1 whatever we did in one day. So
my guy, I love it, and that's what it is, inspiration. And even it's so funny when I first heard $1 million a day, I was like, how's that even possible? Like what's the? But now when people say it, I have to remember it's not normal. Like if I don't have $1 million days, I actually get like. If I'm gonna go into a business venture and I can't make at least $1 million a day, I actually get bored. I'm like, what are we doing, right? Because the thing about money, people don't realize that money's like oxygen. There's a lot of it. It's readily available. You just have to become aware. Right? People think they have an access problem. They just have an awareness problem. When I became aware that was possible, you did it. And you know what's so funny? People tell me that it's like when you guys did your $1 million a day award, it was like, look at these young Africans. How could they do it? Let's do it too. And you being an immigrant as well. I know a lot of people looked at you and say, okay, Jeff did $1 million in a day. How can I do it as well? So let's talk about that $1 million in a day. We'll wrap it up here, right? Do you feel like you're making 6-figure days, right? What was the big difference between making 6-figure days, 7-figure day? Was it an implementation gap, a knowledge gap, a belief gap, or all three at once? Like going to that.
Yeah, one, I'll say the first thing, I didn't know it was possible. I was not aware of that.
So awareness gap, okay.
Awareness gap, that was super, that's the first thing. And second thing, now I became aware of it, I didn't believe it, right? And then because I didn't believe it, for the first 2 years, I kind of like questioned the whole thing and not taking action toward it. And then eventually, obviously, you need to have the skill set. If without the knowledge, I didn't have the knowledge how I was gonna do it, because I think the skill set I had at that time is like, okay, I knew how to do some ads, but I didn't know I can do a virtual event and I can have, I don't know, 200-300 people in it, create something of value, create an offer of value, and then obviously at the end sell them a high ticket program. I didn't know I could do that. Once I learned that part, the whole thing changed. So I think the awareness part of it is super important. You got to become aware of it. When Myron said to us, listen, man, you guys can make $1 million a day. I'm looking at this guy, I'm like,
Yeah, I was like, cuckoo for cool.
yeah, right, it sounds good, bro, right?
Yeah,
like,
sounds
cool,
nice.
like cool story.
Yeah.
But we saw a bunch of other guys do it, and I've watched literally, I went and see my coach pitch at a solar conference, and he cleaned though, and I'm like, he's like, DJ, that was just like 3-4 million. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, wow, And then obviously, I didn't believe it. So the other guys came in, you started doing it. The other guys came in, my callers did the same thing. I'm like, okay, this is possible. And eventually, I borrowed the belief eventually from you guys. And I went inside of that room, inside of my podcast room, in my office.
Yeah, I saw it.
This year, January, bro, we did the challenge. And it isn't funny. I wasn't even thinking about the whole $1 million day. When we were doing, because I'm just saying, I'm going to go back, I'm going to give my best.
Exactly.
Like, I'm going to give my best. I'm going to serve the people to the best of my ability. And we served the people. The first time we did our pitch, 22 people enrolled. When 22 people enrolled, I said, there's no way I'm finished this challenge and not do this.
Yeah.
And then it was a wrap. By the next day, we did it, and then we had way more sales than what we expected. So
I love it. I love it. You know what's so great, and I love about your story, is that you focused on serving people. And I met one of your clients here who also is a 7-figure store owner. So as you're making 7 figures in a day, you're creating 7-figure store owners whose lives are being changing as well. So I tell people, like, income follows impact. Like, if you have great impact on people's lives, you change their lives for the better, you're going to make income. Right?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. This is one thing, like, they'll tell you, like, we and my business partner, Robbie, like, we make sure that the back end of our office, in every single one that's inside of our company, you understand? Like, the people come first, our customers come first. Like, we literally, like, we want to make a lot of money, but we want to make sure that, our fulfillment, right, the support, like, the people understand that, okay, there's a team that's there for them. I don't want people to go online and say, hey, you know what, I'm looking for this company that can get them, or I'm looking to communicate with them, I can't. So we make sure that, this is why you see, I don't need to have a warehouse, but I choose to have a warehouse because I want to serve my people. I don't want them to go and get shitty product for other people. I want to make sure that I give them quality products, right? So the moment we started focus on support, we started making sure that, they get what they want. And eventually, if you keep helping other people, you're gonna get what you want. The moment you focus on helping, eventually everything else will just fall into place. Everything you desire in your life, you'll get it. So for those of you guys watching this, whether you're a coach or you're somebody with whatever you serving other people, they come first. Their support come first. And if you give them what they want, you'll get what you want. So.
Exactly. So I'm going to wrap it up there. You want to serve people, you want to provide them a solution, and in turn, you also will be served. So, guys, this is another episode, hanging out with Joshcashflow. Thanks very much, DJ.
Of course. Thank you so much for stopping by.
I might not put that libido product for all the guys out there or girlfriends or wives who wants to buy it for their significant
Just
other.
follow me on IG, guys. Just follow me on IG.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it will plug it there. So again, my goal, and I know I do a lot of this in Haitian Creole, but I do have a new IG now in English. But I'm gonna start serving. I'm gonna start teaching you the stuff I know about e-commerce. So
make sure you follow him for sure, guys. He's definitely one to follow. Keep an eye out on. Peace.
Let's go.